Good afternoon, everyone. This is Ann Miller French with Angelic Hands here to do this week's live. I am streaming on my Facebook page for Angelic Hands, and I'm also streaming live on my YouTube channel for Angelic Hands. So, hello and welcome to anyone that's just joining me for the first time. Thank you for being here today, and anyone that's been here on a regular basis. Thank you so much for joining me. I always look forward to see who's hopping on. So if you want to say a quick hello, I will definitely see the feedback that shows up in the comments. So got a few things to share. There's so much coming up to the surface and a lot that I wanted to cover in today's live. So, first and foremost, anyone that is new to me, new to my channel, or new to me on my Facebook page, I am, like I said, Ann Miller French. I'm the owner and founder of Angelic Hands, and I started my practice back in early 2016. It was founded through Reiki and Reiki energy healing. And I continued to practice, grow, learn, discover, and remember my gifts and abilities, and really started to embody and embrace my gifts of being a psychic and a medium, and expanded my practice with that. So I do readings, I offer quantum life coaching, I do something that's called quantum energy healing and light language healing. So all of that information can be found on my website, which is ReikiAngelicHands.com. That's ReikiAngelikHands.com. And I will have to admit that I'm pretty pretty tired today. I received some very uh, big downloads today from Spirit. So I know that I'm receiving a lot of information, and I'm just being gentle to myself, to my body, allowing myself to process whatever it is that I received. And I've learned to not analyze it, just allow it to come through. So, what I'm referring to is if you ever hear like a high pitched noise that comes in, like for me, it comes in through my right ear. Sometimes I get downloads to my left, but today was coming through in the right ear. So that's my team working with me. I'm receiving some more information. And I know at some point there'll be things that I'll be sharing, but I also felt that there were things that I was being guided to share with all of you today. So I'm here, and I did some stretching, my Pilates practice earlier today, just to work to get my energy up and going. So if you've been finding that you've been sleeping a lot more, if you've had very vivid dreams, if you've been emotional, if you had things come up, I know at this past weekend, yesterday celebrated Father's Day, so that can stir up a lot of emotions. I know for me, I just really allowed myself to be present and to be aware of what was coming up, and recognize some old programs that were still playing out surrounding um, things that I either felt bad about, or going through the old program of woulda, coulda, shoulda, but instead recognizing that that was an old program playing out, and knowing that when my dad was still here, uh, I didn't get to see him as much as I would have liked to, but my heart was always with him. So I made the phone calls, and the times that I did go up there to visit him, those are the memories that I hold on to. That's the time that I cherish. But I know that those phone calls meant a lot to him, and the visits meant a lot to him. And I really felt it in my heart that it felt like he loved that even more than receiving any sort of a gift. But I would make it a point to do both, but I know that just my presence and being there with him. So I know that he's with me in spirit. I always talk about it how I'm able to talk to him more now versus when he was still with us. And I'm so grateful for that. Oh, hi, Fareed. Thank you for hopping on. Yeah, I'm a little tired today, as I mentioned earlier in the live. I received quite a few downloads and then just allowing myself to process. Yesterday's a Father's Day, and my dad had passed away last August. So this, this it's coming up. I can't believe that it's almost been a year already. But I just chose to look at that day of honoring, and recognizing all those moments and all that love that we shared, and so grateful for everything that he did for me and my sisters and our family, and for my stepmom. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And got to spend time with my amazing husband, and he is the father of three children, and they're all adults, and I love them. I love his family, and I love how we blended our families together, and that's what truly means a lot to me is just the love and the merging of both worlds, and bringing everyone together. So that's, to me, that's what matters. And I am, extremely grateful for my stepdad and for my father-in-law, and for all the dads out there that are doing their thing, and even for anyone out there that has lost a loved one. It's never easy, and you just take some time. There's no timeline on the grieving process, and it's just being there for yourself and being your own best friend, and having patience. And that was coming up today. I really heard those two words, and I'm still hearing that from spirit, having patience with what's coming up to the surface right now, and having patience in the process, and trusting, because there's so much going on right now in the background. And I always say that spirit has our back. They're with us 24/7, and they love us, and we are always surrounded by love. Even if you are going through any time in your life where you might feel alone, just know that you do have a team that's with you and that supports you. Oh, thank you so much for that. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Chandra. Hi, Tara. Oh gosh, I feel the love. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So, um, this these messages that are coming through today, I am really feeling that push again, where it's another part of what my mentor and life coach, Jessica Alstrom, would always tell me. I was life coached by her for the past 2 years, and I'm extremely grateful for that, and all of that wisdom and things that I learned, and remembering who I am, and really stepping into my gifts. And she would always talk about, leveling up. So I really feel like I am going through that process again of leveling up and being guided to step out of my comfort zone once again. So there's going to be things that I'm going to be sharing here on these live platforms that it's not unfamiliar to me, but I haven't openly talked about some of these things. So there'll be some things that I'll be guided to share, and yeah, it's a little bit different. So you get to a point where you feel like you've outgrown a certain version of you, and it's like that shedding and then continuing to evolve and grow and really embody who you are. And if you look at it, like, even somebody shared a picture of a snake the other day, and I said, oh, that's so perfect, and that's such a reminder for anyone that sees that visual, because what does a snake do? A snake sheds its skin. So if we look at our ourselves as we're clearing away those limiting thought patterns, clearing away those old thought forms, and really shedding old parts of self and continuing to emerge and embrace being the butterfly and spreading our wings and moving in the direction of where we're being guided, even if it feels unfamiliar, taking that step anyway. So part of what's all right. Okay, I'm back on. Dropped out for a minute there. We're just going to keep going, and hopefully you can all see me. So, one of the things that I wanted to share today is trust what's coming through for you. So, if you feel that, you have beings from other dimensions or beings from other planets that are contacting you in your awakened state, or if they're reaching out to you in your dreams, trust that, and have a journal near your nightstand and a pen, maybe a little flashlight. So if you have some insights or some information that comes through, trust the information, jot it down. You're going to receive bits and pieces of information. I remember my first encounter with the Arcturians when I was in Sedona, Arizona. I can't remember if it was a 2016 or 2017 visit, and it was the time where you're still kind of um, not quite yet awake, so you're in the in between state. And I have to admit, it caught me off guard, but looking back at that and everything that I've learned about myself, and being a star seed, being an empath, being a sensitive and an intuitive, and working with my gifts of being a psychic and a medium, nothing seems strange anymore. I've learned not to fear it, just to embrace these messages and embrace when any of the beings come through from other planets, or embrace when I have a visit from an ascended master, or from a departed loved one, or from the angels, the archangels, and knowing that there's always a message to be shared, and it's quite beautiful. And I love what I do, and I love being able to share that information with others. And you get to that point where in your life where, as you continue to be more authentic and share that information, you don't care anymore what anybody thinks about you. But I still remember back in 2016 when I really started to embrace my gifts of, working with more so with being a medium and my psychic abilities. There was still that part of me that was holding myself back. Like, I was literally standing in my own way and feeling choked up in the throat chakra. So over time, and clearing and healing and learning and going through different processes and activations and receiving downloads and healing codes, and, like I said, shedding that skin like the snake does, it's getting rid of that extra baggage that was, standing in my way of really shining my light, and just letting the world know this is who I am. And even knowing that there were people that have been on my path, this is family members, this is friends, this is colleagues from years past, where we may have been walking side by side, but as I continued to level up and move forward, there's some that were not quite ready for that, so stayed behind. Or I've learned just meet people where they're at, and I really strive to not force my message or force my beliefs on someone, to allow them to decide and discern what is their truth. We all have a truth. My truth is my truth, your truth is your truth, and to really embody that and embrace that. And the best piece of advice that I can give you for anyone out there that's struggling with that, or finding that they feel like they're being judged, just meet people with where they're at, and know that not everybody's ready for the message, and when they're ready, they'll show up. They may even be one of your students, and even the student teaches a teacher. It's a beautiful exchange of energy. So really having patience and trust in everything that's coming up right now. And I know these past couple of weeks, my dreams have been pretty pretty interesting. Like, I feel like I have been all over the place, and sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't, and that's okay. Just know that in our sleep state, we're receiving information, but we're also doing a lot of healing work. We're doing astral travel and connecting with other souls. And uh, I still remember things even going back to when I was with corporate America for over 26 years, and then seeing the seeing the old patterns play out in the dreams, but being able to surrender it and to let go of that old version of me, and continue to embody and embrace who I am today, and knowing that I'm going to continue to grow and change, and just really being there for yourself, being your own best friend, being your own hero, being your soulmate, and really falling in love with you and every part of you. And I know that there are times where we can be our own worst critic, but to be able to love everything, everything about self from head to toe, no matter what's going on, that's that's our saving grace. And to be able to feel that love, receive that love, and know that as we get right with what's going on inside of us, we start to see that reflected outside of us. And knowing that, all the cast and characters that are surrounding us and all those intimate relationships, they're reflecting something back to us. They're the mirrors, and it's the fractals of our consciousness, and making peace with different aspects of our life, and really saying, this is me, this is who I am, and just, showing up. So I was being guided to also share some messages from one of my decks. I haven't used this one in a while. It's by Kyle Gray. It's called Keepers of the Light Oracle Cards, and I really like this one. So there's 3 cards that I picked. The first one is called Mercury, and that's open communication. And the message reads, get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. So if there's something that you've been holding back on from having that conversation with a loved one, be honest, be authentic, and just, whether it's picking up the phone or having that one-on-one, or even having I'm hearing more to this message, have a conversation with yourself, like really get to know those parts of you. When is your ego trying to get your attention? When is your inner child trying to get your attention? Are you in the present moment? Are you connected to your higher self? Like who's in the driver's seat? Really getting familiarized with those parts of self and with the different things that I have learned over time, I really got to know those different versions of me and knowing that no part of self gets left behind. Everybody goes with as we continue to work through this awakening and remembering who we are, really step into the field of love and being able to go through this ascension journey, and it's not easy. It never is. I have to admit I have days where I feel like I'm flying high and on cloud nine and lots of energy, and then there are those days where I feel like energy's kind of low, just need to take some time to time and space for self and to recharge my batteries. So I know I shared this message the other day with someone. You don't have to have everything figured out today, tomorrow. That's where that patience comes in, and know that whatever it is that your heart is wishing for, asking for, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, have patience and know that whatever's truly meant to be, it's already written in the stars, it's already yours, but it's getting to that alignment with the vibration and being an energetic match. So doing whatever it is to continue to get right with what's going on inside of you, like I talked about before. So sometimes it's just as simple as doing some breath work, taking some time to go within. That's what I was hearing even from myself this morning. So I spent some extra time in meditation when I was doing my yoga stretches. And I know after this live, I'm going to spend some time out in the sun and just get some more, information from the sun, which is beautiful. So the next card is, oh, thank you, Rebecca. And I do see your comments, Fareed. I will come back to you in just a moment. I'm going to work through these three cards and I will take a peek at what your questions are. So the next message is Horus, and that's Cosmic Gateway. And it says, your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So again, this is totally in alignment with the theme for this week, having that patience, having trust, knowing that things are going on in the background that are for your best and highest good. And our job is not to figure out the how or the when. Our job is to be in a state of joy, know that we are the abundance, and be in a state of bliss and joy and happiness and that love that I keep talking about, and allow the timing when it comes through. You're going to know it, you're going to feel it, and it may even be even bigger and better than what your mind's eye could even possibly imagine. So that's exciting. There is a message, I think I shared this last week, but I'm seeing that again. Expect a miracle and believe in miracles and really spend that time with your inner child, that little girl inside or that little boy inside that just loves to play and loves miracles and magic and loves to create. So whatever play means to you, even when I get on these lives, this is fun for me. I love connecting with all of you. So the third card is Kali Ma. This is facing fear. That's a very, very powerful message. So it says major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So you're being guided to step out of your comfort zone, whatever shape or form. Take that leap of faith and take that step forward. Trust where you're being guided at this time, and know that the information is coming in. Allow yourself some time to process and to allow the integration to occur. So, like I mentioned before, if you're feeling tired or if you have any emotions that are coming up, if it's any type of grief or sadness, just know that as we clear away those old parts of self, it's like a death and rebirth cycle, not a literal death, but just it's clearing away of old self. So, like I was talking about, the shedding of the skin. And then when you have those moments where you feel such clarity and like there's no clouds hanging over your head and you just know and you're in the present moment, you're going to take those action steps and move forward with whatever it is that you're being asked, to do at this time. So I'm going to take a quick moment just to see the message are from Farid. Oh, thank you for the blessings, Farid. I do appreciate that. Hi, Cho. Thank you for hopping on. Okay, I'm just reading the message quick. So this, Farid, what I'm getting for this is, I don't know if you caught this earlier in the live. As you continue to move forward on your path, your journey, know that there's going to be loved ones, and this can be family members, friends, colleagues, even your best friend, is what I'm hearing. If there's anyone in your inner circle where you find that they're closing themselves off or they're distant, they're continuing to work on their own journey right now. So, as I mentioned earlier in this live, meet them where they're at. The best thing that you can do is send love to that person and know that over time, when they are ready, they'll meet you where you're at, or at least meet you on some common ground and be able to have that contact, be able to have those connections again. But you're going to find, and I've experienced this myself, and I find that every time I take that next jump, or jumping of the timelines, leaping forward, leveling up, whatever you want to call it, it's not um, making yourself small. We're continuing to shine bright, move forward, really be authentic, and be honest in who we are. So anyone that's not ready for that, or if your light is so bright, continue. What I'm hearing for spirit is continue to shine your light and be you. Continue to be you. That's what they're talking about. And those that are meant to move forward with you, they'll be there. And there are other times where I find that there are loved ones or friends that are in our immediate circle, but they're meant to be there for a short time. So there's different life lessons that are unfolding, or karmic debt, or whatever it is, whatever the reason is that brought you two together in this time and space. And there are times when they take a step back, or there's loved ones that are no longer here physically, but know that energetically they are always with us. They are here in spirit. And then we have new casting characters that come in. You start meeting new friends, or find that family members that you haven't heard from in years, all of a sudden they're starting to surface and talking to you about different things, and finding that you actually have some things in common. So it's a process. It's going through those ebbs and flows. You're not the only one that is going through this. So I totally hear you and see you. I'm just going to look at the comments here. Okay, so I am actually going to share one more card, and thank you for hopping on, Courtney. So I'm working with the Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light Oracle cards. All right, just going to pull one more message from the deck here. Oh, wow. You can't make this stuff up. I was just talking about this earlier. Lady Venus, so downloads and understanding. And I was literally just talking about this earlier, how I personally received a lot of downloads this morning, so it's making me a little tired today. So truth is being revealed. Deep insights are coming from heaven and the astral realm. So trust the information that you're receiving. Trust where you're being guided. Have patience in this process. If there's things that are coming up to the surface, those emotions, or if you find that you're in a loop pattern of an old program that's playing out, just be aware of it and have that conversation, have that dialogue with yourself, and send love to yourself, send love to that loved one. The other part of it is the physical aspect. So if you're feeling achy as you're continuing to release things, you might find it beneficial to spend some time near bodies of water, or um, pour a nice hot bath, warm bath, put some Epsom salts in it. With that magnesium, it really helps with those areas that may be tender right now as you're continuing to go through any releases that are coming to the surface. So these are the messages for this week. I am extremely grateful for all of you being here this week, and I just really wanted to share this information with all of you. Again, for any services that I offer and the products that I work with, all of my information can be found on my website, ReikiAngelicHands.com. The link will be included in the description for this live. If there's anyone that you feel could benefit from this information, the messages for this week, feel free to like this page and share it. Subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I am forever grateful for that. And my intention is to be here to hold space for each and every one of you, and to be me, and encouraging you to be you. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I love you too. I'm so grateful. I feel I feel the love. Thank you.